Hi there, I'm Jack Van Ryn, Mayor of the Town of Coaldale. I will be giving you a council brief from our regular council meeting that was held November 14th, 2022. And on the agenda, under bylaws and policies, agenda item 7.1, we had our Director of Growth and Investment, Cameron Mills, present regarding a required text amendment bylaw 859-P-11-22, and that's under Schedule 4, Standards of Development, and regarding solar collectors. And the purpose was to provide clear parameters on the intensity of solar collectors in different types of zoning districts. And the amendment required was regarding residential solar collectors or solar panels. And this was regarding as the use is defined as a residential solar collector located in a residential zoning district and either roof or wall mounted or freestanding, does not exceed more than 10% of the lot coverage. In a commercial or non-residential area, the use is defined as a non-residential solar collector located in a non-residential zoning district and is either roof or wall mounted or freestanding, not exceeding more than 300 square feet. And in the case of commercial or non-residential, if the solar collectors or solar panels exceed more than 300 square feet, they are considered as a discretionary use and need to be approved prior to installation. So at our meeting, Council provided first reading on Land Use Bylaw 859-P-11-22 and to set a public hearing date and time as November 28th at 5:05 p.m. And this will give an opportunity for any residents or commercial property owners to attend a public hearing to hear the discussion. And at that meeting, the residents or commercial owners can speak as well in favor or against the changes. Then under agenda item 8.1, under new business, we had our manager of infrastructure, Dustin Yankee, give council an update regarding the Southern Regional Stormwater Project. And this goes all the way back to 2012. And that's regarding due to severe storm and snow melt events that occurred in southern Alberta. Several regional partners began to lobby the provincial government to receive funding towards a stormwater management plan. This group was successful in obtaining funding for the project, and a main committee was formed consisting of partners that are located in southern Alberta. And those partners to date are Lethbridge County, MD of Taber, County of 40 Mile, Cypress County, Town of Coaldale, Town of Taber, and the Town of Bull Island. And as part of that study, there was $151 million worth of projects were identified and recommended to mitigate damages caused by flooding across the region that we've experienced many times. And the first phase of that project was referred to as the Horsefly Spillway Project, which is located near Taber, and it was deemed of high priority and recommended to be completed first. The cost estimate for this project came in at $47,115,000. The committee then submitted grant applications to the provincial and federal governments, where they were successful in receiving $39,146,349 of combined funding towards the Horsefly Spillway project. And the funding breakdown of the three phases of the project were all identified in the grant applications. Unfortunately, when we received the tenders back, the project came in at $4,915,930 higher than the original estimate price. And so with this project being deemed priority, of the 3 phases, the committee agreed to take funding from phases 2 and 3 and put it towards phase 1 so we can get that one completed first. And that was approved. And now that project is going to move forward. And back to the partners that I listed, the each partner, their funding commitment was based on their location and the area that they sit on. So in other words, the town of Coaldale, our commitment was 8% of the cost, and that came back at $456,610. So again, $456,610. And we have our committee currently in discussions with the City of Lethbridge and also the City of Medicine Hat to have them partner with us as well on this project because it affects them as well. Then under agenda item 8.2 under new business, we had our Director of Growth and Investment, Cameron Mills, give us an update on grant applications that we currently have out. And he brought council up to date regarding grants that we've received or that we're still waiting to hear back on. And there's some of them regarding municipal internship programs. And a good example of that one is that we received a grant of 2/3 of the cost of hiring a recent graduate to work in the general administrative capacity for the town for the 2022 and 2023 years. And this grant led to the hiring of Tom Anderson, who has been working across functional departments on a number of initiatives for the town. And Tom's doing a great job, and we have him during the 2023 year term as well. We also received a grant that was awarded in 2019 in the planner stream, leading to the hiring of Melanie Messier in our planning department, and she began in 2020. And like the administrators stream, the program provides provincial support to a handful of Alberta communities to supplement approximately 2/3 of the cost of hiring a recent graduate, and Melanie's been an excellent addition to our planning department. Then also regarding community service grants, and Cameron also brought us up to date on grants for infrastructure. And instead of listing all these grants, what I'm going to do is I'll have a link in the comment section to the agenda package. And I encourage you to look not only at Cameron's staff report, but the other ones that I've been speaking about as well. Then under agenda item 8.3, we had Cameron Mills give a staff report on the comparative analysis update regarding crime severity index. And this was quite an interesting report that Cameron gave. And basically, the town of Coaldale began producing a comparative analysis report in 2019 to provide interested parties with a clearer picture of the town's overall performance and state relative to similarly sized or closely located municipalities. And this report is relatively unique to Coaldale, providing our residents and other readers with information drawn from other audited, peer-reviewed, and otherwise established sources, but presenting the information in a way that's easy to understand and that compares information from other municipalities to another, allowing the reader to better understand the relative successes, failures, challenges that the municipality is experiencing. So the original report had 4 benchmarks, and they included operating expenditures and revenues, taxation, assessment growth, and population growth. And one thing that myself and other members of council and even staff here is and commonly discussed on social media is the issue of crime in Coaldale. So our intern, Tom Anderson, was asked to do some research on getting the best way to measure crime within the town of Coaldale, so that the relative amount of crime in each municipality could be measured. So in discussing the issue with local RCMP detachment, Tom confirmed that the best metric would be the Crime Severity Index, or in other words, a CSI, which is documented by Statistics Canada and available publicly on their website. And some of the interesting things that came back from that is that the baseline, or the national average for measurement for the CSI, is 100. In 2021, the CSI in Alberta is slightly above the national average of 101.4. The 2021 CSI for Coaldale is 44.5, which is below Coaldale's 5-year average of 52.5 that occurred from 2021 back 5 years. So the 2021 value compares very favorably to its peer group. So Edson had a index at 177, Lethbridge 148.9, Drumheller at 127.5, Innisfail at 111.5, Ponoka 75.4, Blackfalds at 67.6, Tabor at 67.4. And again, Coaldale's was 44.5. So putting that into perspective, the 2021 CSI value for Coaldale would need to increase by over 50% in order to bring it up to a level of the second lowest crime municipality in the group, or more than double in order to reach the average of the group. So in short, based on empirical measurement, Coaldale's crime rate is demonstrated to be low compared to other similarly sized urban municipalities and its closest neighbors. Furthermore, while the rate changes from year to year, it's reasonable to conclude that Coaldale's status as a low crime, safe community is consistent year over year based on the last 5 years of data. So what council decided to do, and a motion was passed last night to direct administration to add the analysis of the Crime Severity Index as the 6th benchmark in the 2022 comparative report. So you'll see the new benchmark added, and when we release that document, you'll be able to see for yourself where Coaldale sits comparable to other municipalities of similar size. Then under agenda item 8.4, under new business again, we had a request for council support for a grant application for a potable water reservoir project. So what the town needs to do is we need to put in a underground potable water reservoir. So that's chlorinated water. Currently we get our water from the city of Lethbridge, and we need to be able to store it. And our current reservoir that's located behind the Sportsplex or the ice arena, if you go over by the cenotaph, you'll see there's kind of a large mound or a hill. Below that, we have a large underground water reservoir. So now we're looking at building a second one. And what we needed to do last night was give administration approval to do a grant application. So the motion that was passed was that council direct administration to submit a funding application under the Alberta Water Wastewater Partnership Program for the town of Coaldale's potable water reservoir and pump station project, and that council commit to its proportionate share of funding for this critical piece of infrastructure. So that was passed last night. Again, I'll have the staff report in the comment section. And the last item that we had under departmental reports, agenda item 9.1, we had our CFO, Chief Financial Officer, and our Deputy CAO, Kyle Beauchamp, give us an update regarding financial update for quarter 3 up until September 30th, 2022. And as always, Kyle give us a very in-depth report. And one thing that I always ask Kyle to do is to make it as simple as possible, because when it comes to following financial statements for a municipality the size of Coaldale, the simpler the better. And Kyle is very good at doing that for council. And it'll also be available to our residents. And it shows that Coaldale is sitting in a very comfortable position right now. And on the operational side, we're looking at a surplus. And one of the big items that still irritates me to this day is our policing contract for the RCMP with the federal government. And this has nothing to do with our local detachment. Like, we have excellent RCMP detachment here in Coaldale. We have currently 9 members with Staff Sergeant Mike Newman being in charge, and they're doing a great job. But the problem that we have is our contract. So, and I've spoken about this many times, where Coaldale should be, based on our population, between 5,000 and 15,000, we should be paying 70% of our policing costs. And currently we're paying 100%. And paying that extra 30% of policing, the amount of that is $449,980 that we shouldn't be paying, that we are. So obviously that affects our bottom line. So that's an ongoing issue that we got going on with the federal government, and our council is not going to give up on that. And we're also working with the provincial government on that as well. So that is the extent of our meeting last night. And I'll have everything posted, like I said, in the comment section. And what I would really like you to do, like putting these little videos together, I enjoy doing them, but they take a bunch of work, and I wish I could do everything in the first take, but I can never do that. So I'm probably on take 3 or 4 right now, because I always make a mistake and then I got to start over, because I don't want to cut and splice, because I want you to be able to see it just the way that I presented. So please share it, please like it, subscribe if you could. And on Facebook, that's where I need you to do that. I would also, if you would follow me so you can keep up with updates with what's going on in Coaldale. And at the end of this video, I'll have my cell number, I'll have my email address. If you have any questions, concerns about anything, call me, email me, and stop me on the street, because I'm always available. And same with other members of council. I encourage you to reach out to them as well. So thank you very much, and I look forward to talking to you again soon. Have a great week. Take care.